So, what is it that some woman would do? Live a double life, and any man that they know or who knows them, right? That was they were once in a relationship with, who knows who they truly are, and try to help them to better themselves, right? But they don't want to because they're comfortable being a certain way. And even though you as a man, you still care for this person, okay? But you begin to realize that, you know what? There's nothing you or anybody else can do, and that people are comfortable being the way that they are because they're conditioned a certain way. And when they start to ignore the reality and start to only uh, or start to uh, look at the fantasy as a way of escaping the reality, it doesn't make things better. It does not make things better. It makes things worse. And what bothers me again is that, you know, I'm going to be the I've always been the bad guy for trying to uh, uh, create some sort of structure or discipline to where, and not just within our kids, but telling her the truth. You know, like, you cannot continue to live like this. This is a fire hazard. Not only is it a fire hazard, but it's a health hazard. Okay? A health hazard. But, the people who, and trust me, I know, right? When I first started experiencing what I was experiencing, people around me were telling me what I wanted to hear. Okay? And again, it wasn't all their fault because they themselves were being manipulated and they didn't even know it. They were saying things to me that I'm just like, what? Huh? Like, for real? But again, it is once you begin to understand the programming, right? Once you begin to understand that a lot of us, most of us, particularly in the black community, black men and black women, are conditioned to where we don't want to hear the truth. And so we tell each other feel good lies, right? Because that's what we've been taught. And so when I start to realize it's done, I had to start to rethink and actually think, right? Instead of just believing. Instead of just people telling you, we'll leave it up to God and God will find a way and all this nonsense, right? Not realizing that we're playing into the hands of our oppressors. And though we think that we are free because there is no shackle in our hand, on our hands, on our feet, on our neck, right? There is a shackle of the mind, right? And religion plays a big part of it. Because even the people who claim to be religious, I hear them all the time, godliness is cleanliness is next to godliness, right? These are Christians who will say these things to you, right? But yet, around them, and this is how they're living. Right? Christians who will turn their back on you because you no longer believe or subscribe to the lies of Christianity, right? Who claim to believe in God's law, but yet will do everything of what God's law is, right? But we can never understand why is that. Why is it that we become so hypocritical? And it's because of what we are taught. We are indoctrinated from since we're young. Right? So when those of us understand the truth and begin to move away from the negative programming, they want you to engage in more of the negativity because it brings you back in line to how they've conditioned you. Right? So because we think that, you know, we're highly religious, we wake up every morning, we talk about we're blessed and all of this stuff, when the truth is, no, we are not blessed. See, the word blessed has been used as a term to which we apply to every damn thing. Okay? So we could be in bad health. We could be in the worst situation. But we'll turn around and say, oh, I'm blessed to have my health. No, you don't have your health. I hear this all the time from people who are very sick. They just ignore the reality, right? Who are those of us, and a lot of us, particularly in the black community, we're the working class, the working poor, and the poor. And that's most of us. All right? But we'll talk about, oh, we're getting that bag. What bag you getting? What bag you getting? We are so disconnected from our reality that, you know, and again, the people around us serve us no good interest. You know, Neely Fuller, he's absolutely correct when he says that black people, because our mind have been so poisoned, we don't need to be speaking to each other unless it's constructively. Okay? Unless we are not only telling constructive things, but supporting each other in a constructive way, in a way that moves us forward. It's not about wearing the most expensive clothes. You know, I see black people driving BMW X6 and all this stuff, and, you know, $70,000, $80,000 car, wearing all this clothes, but you live in an apartment, right? You live in an apartment, okay? You're living like this because you're trying to create this false exterior. You know, we don't love ourselves. We tell ourselves, we say, oh, I love myself. You don't love yourself. You don't love yourself until you can tell yourself the truth. You don't love yourself until you can accept the truth. Right? No matter how bad it would make you feel at first. If you love the lie because it makes you feel good than the truth because it causes you to look inwards within yourself and understand how you have been negatively affected, understand how your mindset have been negatively conditioned, and then try to turn that around, regardless of whether people move away from you, because you're telling the truth, because you look at the reality and you're speaking the truth, right? Because you are not afraid to confront the people around you for telling lies, because they themselves don't even know what they're saying are lies, because they've been conditioned to believe that lies are truth and the truth is a lie, then you don't love yourself. What you love is the delusional mindset that's been conditioned into your mind. What you love is to go around people and pretend to be someone that you're not. What you love is the destruction of your own self, your children, your family, your community, because it makes you feel good. I talk about how in the beginning of my targeting, how they were trying to condition me even more negatively. Whenever I did something good, I would be attacked severely. Whenever I may get upset at someone for targeting me, they will send somebody around me to take out a stack of cash and start counting it. Right? Dr. Amos Wilson says that we are conditioned with a backwards mindset. And those that have been chosen amongst us to spread negativity. You can see some of these rap artists, particularly some of these a lot of how these women operate today, acting negatively and being rewarded for it. And so what do you think that what it does to the next generation of young women and young men? Right? We pass on the negative mindset. So they grew up thinking that being this negative, they're going to be rewarded. This is the war against us, psychologically speaking. This is how the white racists are conditioning us, right? So that we ourselves think, behave, act negatively. They have weaponized us against each other, and we pass it on to our kids. See, I'm worried about my kids. That's why when I come here, when I go pick up my daughter, she comes back, she's clean up after herself. She's going to clean up that mess. My son, he's going to clean up his mess. I can't get their mother to do anything. So, I don't even say anything for her. You know what I'm saying? I'm just leaving that alone. Okay? But as long as I'm here, my kids, if I come here, my kids are going to clean up after themselves. Right? Because this is ridiculous again. And I've been asking, let's think about this, right? My back is really bad, right? Injured really bad. And I used to clean this room. It took me 5 days, okay? I'm not kidding you. It took me 5 days. And I would wait once a year. She would go on vacation with her mother and her stepfather with the kids, and I would clean this entire apartment. This room alone would take me 5 days. The rest of the house would take me at least another 3-4 days. But I refuse to do that anymore. Okay? But I'm the bad guy for speaking the truth. I'm the bad guy for bringing my concerns to her family. I'm the bad guy. I'm the person that don't love her, that didn't care for her, that didn't love her, that didn't care for her. Right? That's who I was. Okay? When the very same people who tell her this won't even come and do what I do. Wouldn't even give her that support. Okay? And the biggest reason why they tell her that, because again, I'm no longer brainwashed with our oppressor's religion. Okay? I'm no longer a part of the lie. All right? And that makes me and anybody else like me, whether that person is in a higher position within the society or not, we are all under attack. Covertly, using technology, using psychological manipulation, using drugs, and all other, that's my watch here, okay? Using drugs, poison, and they have been getting away with this. And they have gotten us to do it to each other. So we have to wake up. We have to understand. Right? We have to try and make things better. Not try, but we have to make things better for the next generation. Okay? We have to reverse engineer their psychological program that they have on us and that they have been doing to us. Again, this is not just about me. This is bigger than me. And if you look at every generation over the past 3 decades, the younger generation has gotten worse in terms of their behavior, their way, their belief system. Okay? And now their minds. Do you know that majority of black children today, the vast majority, okay, don't have the same mental capacity of black kids a decade ago, 2 decades ago, 3 decades ago, 4 decades ago. And technology plays a big part in that, because we expose our children to things that we don't understand. Why? Because it's convenient for us. And I'm going to say this as a public announcement. Stop giving your children, if they're under the age of 12, cell phones. They can have tablets within the home. But stop giving them cell phones at age 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait until they're in middle school, and they can only use it in emergencies. Okay? Don't have them sit on the phone talking to each other for hours on end. All right? Use it so that if they're in school, they'll have it. Something happens, they can call you. Once you get home, take it away from them. All right? We have to understand what technology is doing to not just our children, but to ourselves too, and social media. No child should have a social media account until they are in high school. No child should have a social media account except when they're in high school. All right? Now I'm going to exclude YouTube out of this, but they should have no TikTok, no Instagram, or whatever other sort of social media platform. YouTube is fine because it's just videos. And again, you have to watch what your kids watch on YouTube. You know, but they have educational shows. Like my kids, they watch, especially my daughter, she watches age-appropriate content. If something, when we're doing her math homework, I let her watch math examples of what it is that she's doing before we get to doing the homework. Right? Well, other than that, she has no other. No. My son would not even have a social media account, but his mother have him sign up for TikTok, even though I told her that he shouldn't have no social media account. But that's what these mothers do. They negate everything the father says because they think they know better. This is why they continue to raise children by themselves, or within the home by themselves, and they have the most influence of those children. And this is why they keep turning out the same type of men that previous mothers turned out, who have now become adults, right? And they're complaining about. So they keep on raising the same kind of men so that other generation of women can complain about, and vice versa. The same kind of woman that other generation of men to come will complain about. All right? Anyhow, I'll talk to you guys in the next video.